across Australia, children are going to school. Children from the sheep stations and the cattle runs, children from the country towns, children from the cities, children of fourth and fifth generation Australians, and children of new Australians, new settlers in a new land. Some of them go to private schools, but most of them go to free state government schools. For in Australia, every child must begin his education when he is 6 years old. Today, new Australians are arriving from England, America, and other countries overseas. And as they bring their children to school for the first time, they wonder what it will be like in a new land.
Are you happy about the school, Mrs. Smith?
Yes, thank you. But I wonder if you could tell me more about schooling in Australia.
Why, certainly. If your boy had been a little younger, he might have gone to a kindergarten. But now that he's 6, he must start work in the infants department. We aim to teach the child through all his senses, not just from books. We encourage children to tackle problems by using their sense of sight, hearing, and touch. That way, too, they learn to think. At this age, they're not doing much book learning. They're getting used to working together and sharing common interests. That's the first step in learning to be good citizens.
When did the children begin their formal studies?
They have begun their reading, writing, and arithmetic, but at this age, we feel that it's more important for them to learn to work and play together. Play exercises develop their muscles and help them keep fit and well.
Don't children love modelling in clay and making things with their hands?
This way, they develop a sense of touch and learn what things feel like and what they can do with their hands.
I suppose this little chap will be an engine driver when he grows up.
You never can tell. He may be a doctor or a sculptor. Anyway, his future should be safe in those hands. Most of us use our sight more than any other sense. Through our eyes, we get most of our information and knowledge, and so the children are encouraged to draw and paint. They strengthen their powers of observation and, above all, learn to express themselves freely. The training of the ear is important to a well-balanced personality. A feeling for the rhythm of music, singing and dancing is developed through the sense of hearing. Some of our schools were built over 60 years ago in the early days of free education. These out-of-date buildings are gradually being replaced by new schools, planned for more space, with large windows, making the most of sunshine and fresh air. Now, when the child is 8 or 9 years old, we begin to place more emphasis on what you just called formal studies: history, geography, mathematics, English, and so forth. This means harder work, but the child's training in the infants department has prepared him for it. Today, we can bring the outside world into the classroom by the use of aids like film and radio.
Hello, boys and girls. How are you today? Now, what has been going on in this world we live in? Here's an item of news which caught my notice. Britain is building more and more ships.
Education, of course, isn't just a matter between teachers and children. It concerns parents as well. And so most of our schools have their Parents and Citizens Association, in which parents and teachers meet to discuss the needs and problems of their particular school. An important item of business is always the Treasurer's report.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, after buying a school globe, 4 flutes for the school band, skipping ropes for the girls and additional books for the library, we now have £114 in the general fund.
Our girls' mistress has a report.
The girls' school has collected £10 for our library fund, but we urgently need a set of reference books which would cost £22.10.
Mr. Chairman, I feel that we should consider this question of the library very carefully. We must remember that we're still obliged to buy our own children's school books.
£22.10 is a lot of money. Could Miss Jennings tell us why this item is so important?
A good encyclopedia set is necessary for our older girls, as they need constant reference in all subjects.
Government schools are built, staffed and maintained by the states. But to help over the school years, the Commonwealth Government pays parents a child endowment allowance. This amounts to 7 and 6pence a week for each child after the first, in a family where there are 2 or more children under 16 years of age. The primary school course ends at about 12 years, and then children go on either to high school, technical school, home science, commercial or agricultural high school. In most Australian cities, there is no external examination for entrance to secondary school. Children are enrolled according to their parents' wishes, their school record, and the advice of their teachers.
That's settled, Mrs. Campbell. Well, Shirley, you'll be going to high school next year. You'll have to work hard, you know.
Yes, Miss Masters, I'm expecting to work hard.
Shirley has been a good girl, Mrs. Campbell. We'll be sorry to lose her. I'm sure she'll do well. Goodbye, Mrs. Campbell. Goodbye, Shirley, and good luck.
Goodbye, Miss Masters, and thank you.
In the cities, girls and boys generally go to separate secondary schools. But in the country, most secondary schools are attended by both girls and boys. Private schools and the state government schools have the same courses and examinations.
I've made lots of friends since coming to high school, and I like the work too. We have biology and science and lots of subjects we never thought of at primary school, like languages. I'm taking French.
Au milieu d'une forêt, au milieu d'une forêt, demeurait une vieille sorcière.
Of course, the work is more difficult now, but we have a chance to develop our own ideas. We have discussion and acting and special periods set aside for music. For library study, we each select a subject, then read all the books we can find on it. At the end of the term, we have to write an essay. I'm reading up on the Great Barrier Reef. Of all our subjects, I like chemistry best. I want to go right through high school and try for a scholarship to the university. Then I might become a research scientist or a doctor. we want to, we can take bookkeeping, shorthand and typing in the secondary school course.
We can learn better how to deal with our own situation in the field of thought in which we are ourselves most interested. Very well, girls, type that back.
Lots of girls take home science courses. They study high school subjects, but they also learn cooking and dressmaking, so that when they get married, they'll know how to run their own homes. If they like, they can go to technical college after a home science course, although some go on to university.
The age when compulsory education finishes varies with the different states between 14 and 16 years. Up to the end of the secondary school course, education has been provided free. In Australia, every child has the chance of a university education, because those students who qualify for it, but whose means are limited, can get assistance from the Commonwealth Government up to £3 a week. Technical high schools give boys a general education and prepare them for specialized jobs in industry. When they leave school, boys may become apprenticed to a trade, and under an Act of Parliament, they may attend day apprenticeship classes in the employer's time. Or, if they wish, they may continue their education in the evenings at technical college. Boys whose hands but yesterday were modeling in clay are acquiring skills which will help to shape the world. For here are the engineers, mechanics, builders, the designers, and the architects of tomorrow. Australia is a land area larger than Western Europe and almost as large as the United States of America. She is one of the world's sources of food. In agricultural high schools, the future farmers are learning scientific methods. They are learning about crops and the seasons, the care of the soil, the improvement of pastures, and the husbandry of animals. They are learning about wool and wheat and timber. Their studies cover the high school course with basic training in agriculture and applied science. Development of the body is as important as development of the mind. Australia is an open-air, sport-loving country, and games are played in schools all the year round. Swimming is a favorite summer sport, and in outside pools and on the surfing beaches, young bodies gain strength and confidence. Climax to a year's work is the school concert, at which children sing and play for the entertainment of their parents and friends. Speech Day is a summing up of the year's work and a turning point for many students. Parents and teachers are equally concerned in the results of their work.
Today marks the end of the school year. For many of you, it will be the end of your schooling. Our aim has been to give you a well-balanced, all-round education. You have learned to think, you have developed strong, healthy bodies, and you have acquired the scientific and technical skills needed in this complex world of today. Many of you will be going to university. Many of you will be going out into jobs. All of you will soon be taking your place as citizens in the community. Your places in these classrooms will be taken by other young Australians and the children of those new Australians who are coming here from lands overseas. Like you, they will have the opportunity of all that Australian education has to offer. Like you, they will go out into the world with confidence to shape their own future. With you, they will share the responsibility of building the Australia of tomorrow.